Oh, the dreaded alarm. Oh, I hate it. The sound of an alarm pushes me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting the impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they would let me get away with it that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So I eventually do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd order some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they get a new life this way, a bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with little what I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lively like a half-mechanical gazelle. What's her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clapping rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, or the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to dog just like he is oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health and him prompting me to do so. And even things being the way they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I'd be less likely to encounter someone who had witnessed my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. "Good morning. Your name was Hasao, right?" She grins, seeming pleased that she'd remembered my name. "You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday." How could I forget such a, blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. "Yeah, sorry about that again." "Yeah, well, as long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine." "Great!" Not sure she realized I was joking. "So the spy consultant the nurse is talking about, is that actually you?" "That's right." "Oh, I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest." "What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy?" "No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he was going to have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that." "No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I'd seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track." "So why are you down here?" Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. "Training for what?" "Track." "Oh, I see. You're on the track team then?" She nods enthusiastically. "Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it as well." "Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know." I think that much activity is actually out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I like running all that much. Plus, I'm not really into organized sports, you know. It's true, I never really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Amy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not that into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're going to run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you should always warm up. Bad Hasao. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving the passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem quite elastic. Let's go. We both take off around the track, and I immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Amy moves fluidly, throwing herself into a run with some sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride with Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm not really feeling up to more than a couple laps today and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time, you just have to hold out longer, and longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think for right now, I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? She shrugs unconcernedly. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I notice she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I got to finish my routine. See you later, Hasao. Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, you just need to keep at it to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own hell. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After a long shower, anyway, I dry myself out and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. From out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malice intent. It bursts through the fog. Sup? Why do you have a leaf? Okay, that was disturbing enough. Kenji. Sup? What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem? I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask him if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but I hold my tongue back. Finally realized that I'm still naked too, and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, and then why doesn't he wipe them? Is his vision so bad that, like, he's perpetually seeing through fog? You know, your room and... Yeah, that's it. I mean, I still had to get up, though. Whatever. It's not important. Can I borrow some money? He puts on an innocent look and looks away, trying very hard to look casual. Doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome. Wait, why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercise restraint. And in the end, isn't that what counts? Come on, be a pal. This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment, since his thoughts were clearly impure and his intentions were probably more sinister. Since he can't tell me what they are, I say as much to him. I'm offended, man, but if that's your game, that's fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest. I get some of the pizza too, right? No. Are you serious? Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class and you don't have time to eat a pizza. What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everybody wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before, that's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance so that the people who wronged me order a pizza. I will be there, ever vigilant. Kenji strikes a dramatic pose completely without irony. But yeah, I need like 500 yen, please. 400 yen, please. You're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe. Wondering how I got there. And then out of nowhere it happened. Like a flash of lightning splitting the sky. Like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold neat. A bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. Even though it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like the openings to some kind of anime show, you know, where there's always a part where the main dude is fighting their rival. And they fly at each other and clash swords, and there's like big dramatic colored auras, and soon it was like that, but with poo. Okay. So yeah, I need money, please. Don't leave me hanging. I only need like 1,000 yen. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact, given that his baton is conducting freely. Oh my. You're not supposed to be that tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Do you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. Well, maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody. Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again? This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, and this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Women are terrible at stabbing things. But you just said don't take them lightly. Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other, it would be pretty ugly. And the day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, mother boop!" You're being ridiculous. There's no worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with only women in it. Who said it was on Earth? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so I can figure out what kind of frown will breast. Oh, great. Women. Yeah, that was a Freudian slip. Express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which unfortunately means that he'll just keep ranting without any regard to sense or sensibility. Yeah, there's a war going on. A war not many know about. But it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all the known world. And then we'll have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up. I thought this cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I misunderstood the time of power went out for... When I mistook the time the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it would all be over. I was like, whoa, and then I had to get serious because I'm the last sane person in an insane world. It's about duty. Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom to another naked guy. So, can I have the money? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class, so I agree to spot him the money. Awesome, thanks dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no women bowling either, making it the manliest sport. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes or a pastel green with flower accents? There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you'd better pay me back. I can pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class and you're kind of in my way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to hold you up and I have stuff to do myself. The time has come. The time for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time has really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. I was going to, and what does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So, I have to be alone or I can't go. The pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think of something. I give him my practice frown, and it looks kind of silly reflecting his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't want to see. Anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as an eternity has passed since I woke up. That is time I'll never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. Right now I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when I realize my head hits the surface of the desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize that this is a good reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops in the door, looking hesitant, as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing in there. She steps in of her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar, as if it was of importance to look prim when entering our classroom. "Excuse me," she calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. "Good morning, Lily." "Sal, good morning. I didn't hear you come in." I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell her too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. "Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance?" "No, she seems to come in just only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?" "No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in this school right now. I didn't hear anybody else on my way here." "I shouldn't have got up so early today, I guess." "You're chastising yourself for doing something other people should. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway." "It's a very busy morning. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today." Hi. Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. "Hi, He-chan." "Hi." "Look, it's the class representative. Hello." Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha or Shizune's use of the word look. "Good morning." "Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? "I'm not." Lily seems a little bit more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Until I realize that Lily might not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune to be the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. "You're here early, Shizune." "You were here even earlier than us." Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that would definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I start weighing in on whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. "Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival is coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their event. Even the first years, except you." Why, there is still time to hand it in, isn't there? Oh, she's pissed again. today. The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say, the deadline, please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such complex issue completely. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds of one's class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school and then some. The one who does it is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she really is getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hasao, it's all right. Lily seems happy that I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I've forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for it. Students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune's and Misha's effort to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, and now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better. Nope, she pissed again. Oh, it was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something that you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, they don't live here at school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop something that will affect the enjoyment of the entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts sighing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey that same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with the attitude? I said that it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Tell me the names of the 2 students. They should have your job if you can't handle even something this simple yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettling she has become. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her finger cheerfully around the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither see nor hear how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without a hint of sarcasm they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear, but this seems a bit much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. It would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell. Oh, man! And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. I can never say that word. I told you earlier. Well, not really. They can't disguise it much anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. He-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, He-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're doing the... Oh, there went my mouse. Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Yeah, I'd probably say, hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much even if I wanted. That's right, you shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into this after his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Excuses, excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it seems like I'm being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. Turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and then turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks up the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back, and I can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely at the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital. But I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock in front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right here in the text. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with the crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. She's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through air. Maybe there's pent-up anger in there. Misha's desperately trying to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs the point to where her wrist crackle and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and on top of that, she has to sign everything back, anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down in their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit without getting roped into the student council thing again. Although I suspect that door is closed to me for now. Or is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before or after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. Kinda neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. Probably the only one here who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first, trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with heavy, harsh, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost as if Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're on the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think that encumbrances, nothing that would make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting them, really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even though it wasn't just in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point to where only her fingers can be seen rapping nervously on the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She came by this morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It was a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on her festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? You need to find her? She was looking for you this morning, but I guess you missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure whether it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah, I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's a little late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. Did I say that right? I don't know. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako would be discouraged from going in. I could pick up her bag and we take our leave. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take too long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing, though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within an arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, it doesn't seem to much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there. Excuse me. But Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Huh. So not exactly a thorough search then. If I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. The slightest of nod, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding just to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her get a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So, you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious, after all. She doesn't seem to be the type to cultivate a social circle, either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. It must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflective nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as short and prompt as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us are content that the discussion's reached its end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we're met by a group of students heading down the stair like a school of fish heading from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. The students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako keeps takes up the position at my side again as we enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls. But Hanako seems pretty far beyond what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. Oh, believe me, social anxiety, not in that way, but yeah. Anyway, if it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have ever been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely suck down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strange silence while I rule her inability to socialize at all. As we make the way up her stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. Wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door 3-2. With Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me, I opened the door. Inside is a hive of activity. Seemingly every student in the class is talking at once as they hurry up on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it seems like for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her among the din was surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands in front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily. She perks her head as she breaks off, talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen the best she can. Sorry, who? Oh, sorry, Sal. I have Hanako too. Hi. She's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment pause to assess the situation before turning to the other students once again. For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. Quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall space for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I turn quickly about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right. 3-2 is especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you some. I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Oh, that's good. This might actually get finished before everybody goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but no one else can help. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. Can't really blame her. Take it you've met? Our room's in the door right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend, I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Hanako's silence during the proceeding reminds me of the reason I put her up to help in the first place. We'll help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problem. Chorusing in assent, Hanako and I begin to trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his soap brush along the large half-painted kanji that's sketched on the sheet in pencil. Kenji. Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, Hasao, Right, I know that man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to get really focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner. Hanako and I, that is. Hello. Oh, hey, I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden faux hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh, right, women. On second thoughts, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I grudgingly help set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noticing several small paint tins on the ground around it. Oh, she's so cute. Class 3-2 noodle stall? You guys are selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do the borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine, you do borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako's already debating between colors to use. By the time I've put brush to cloth, she's already started a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whisper conspiratorially, though. Hey man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. Apparently disapproves of my motives. I get it. Looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him probably would have been better than just outright lying or annoying in any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously. It sucks, and there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school, a harsh world. Yes, very harsh. Harry Potter. Oh, what? No, you didn't hear me say that. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied that I'm sympathetic to his cause. I'd better get down to work. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. Two of us connect up the lines on our patterns, mine being as close as a copy as I could get to hers. With a grunt, I lever myself from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left off finishing a sign, as well as Lily and a couple other students talking among themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her stars extend even to there, just how much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, ever she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing I meant the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Hasao, Hanako. If there's any way I can thank you, it's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives an answer from the other side of the room. Yep, just finished. He carefully slides his sign into the empty section of the shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See ya, man. Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbye to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed, the classes planned this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice, though. She's right. It shows a lot of work's gone into them. My, I'm sure a lot of us will be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hasao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students there probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to make the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the kind of mention of their rather public smack. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glance at Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once this festival is over in any case. The change of topic's welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such occasions special. Oops. And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away toward explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in any case. As we come to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See ya, Lily, Hanako. Two of them give polite nods before setting off to the woman's dorms, just right next to the guys. As is to be expected from such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both being quite sore having worked on the floor for so long before walking to my room. Feels good to have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Going to sleep, going to sleep. Ah, the dreaded alarm. Well, on that note, I have been playing and reading for a little while straight right now, so I guess I will catch you all next time. Until then, be safe. Bye-bye.